Alright. What's up, everybody? Here we go. We got the big dog. Wardy just dropped a replay pack, and of course, we couldn't go past this one. Serral in the top right side of the map. Into esports at the time of playing this, though recently being picked up by Basilisk, which is a very surprising and exciting announcement. He's facing off against herO in the bottom left. And this is, of course, from the Christmas Day Games show match. A couple $1,000, I believe, on the line for Wardy. Had all the top dogs playing. This was the semi-finals. It's a best-of-5 match between these two. And it is on the old patch. So I'm sure some people are a little bit sad about that. I was like, man, I kind of only want to cast new patch games from now. I don't think there's any reason to go back and cast old ones anymore. I've already covered the best series from before the patch, but now that it's fully updated and dropped, you know, that's the case. And then I saw these two names. I heard it was a bit of a close, fun match. And I was like, okay, all right. I mean, in general, I'm already excited about this because I've recently been talking a little bit about how I think Serral, even though he's reigning Katowice champion, is not the favorite to win there. And actually, I think this guy might have a better chance than him. And I really want to see what their matchups look like, because I feel like once we get new patch, new map pool, the balance of odds is going to go in herO's favor in every matchup, simply due to the newness of the maps and the more spread out bases, allowing more varied strategies, aggression, and a lot of craziness. I just think herO is going to adapt so bloody well, because I think they're already a very even match before this. Serral maybe being slightly favored but on this patch. But I want to see how this last run-in before the new patch has gone between them. They're in the same group at Katowice, and I think they're very much both heavily favored above everyone else in their group to get first and second. And if you get first in the World Championship, you actually go straight to the top 8, whereas second and third place in the groups have to play an extra round of 12 match. So it's actually really important to see who can kind of win that head-to-head match. Though, honestly, even saying herO's favored, my prediction is that probably Serral wins the best of 3. They rematch best of 5 round of 8. And herO wins the rematch. That's my brave prediction. Check out my my main channel video talking more about that, and also my breakdown of the other players who people are overhyping and underhyping for Katowice on my main channel, because I really can't wait to see what all the comments and responses are. I'm recording this before that one goes live, but that's going to be out in the next day or two. So keep your eyes out and get ready to shout at me in the YouTube comment section. I'm looking forward to having some calm and measured discussion as I insult people's favorite players while trumping up other ones. It's going to be a good time. Nothing like a passionate discussion of fans about which player is best. I love it. In any sport, I always think that gets people's emotions high, gets everyone making good arguments. A lot of people making terrible arguments as well. It's always good fun though. All right, so no real damage just yet. Oh, he's looking for the Overlords, but look at that. They're both hanging out there, having a bit of a kiss, keeping himself safe. Oh, Adept runs in, gets a tumor, but I don't think that's worth it. Losing an Adept for a creep tumor, because that makes it a bit harder to secure the third base. And the Stalker didn't really find anything out here. Oracle is going to come out. He's looking for it. He's like, where are those Overlords? But Serral's pulled them back, so he's being real conservative. Stalker beats 2 Lings pretty easy. And that Oracle's going to go on in. Quick Evo chamber. Looks like Serral wants to play a quick melee build. I think building the Evo at the front gives that information away. On the other hand, it's really nice, because if it does end up being an Adept follow-up, he can wall off with Roach Warrens and Evos. Serral is the best player in the world at doing that, in my opinion. He's so consistent at walling off to block surprise Adept builds. And it often feels like every other player is like screwed in that scenario where they're being greedy. But greedy against Adepts is very rarely greedy when Serral's involved, because his wall-offs are just so good, and he always buys himself enough time with those wall-offs to hang on. Now, Oracle's going to come in. 3 Queens, though. Oof. herO's a player who loves to just jump on the Queens and fight them with the Oracles whenever they're out on their own, but really good D so far. And a safety Roach Warren for Serral at 430. He's playing conservative. Getting 2 Spores, 6 Queens, and a Roach Warren this fast, as well as a fast +1 melee. He's definitely not looking to be greedy on the economy. And his Overlord apparently snuck in the back door, so he's going to come in and see that Forge and Twilight soon. Oh, nice snipe. Gets a Queen, gets 2 drones, but... Oh, no. Ah, gets stuck against the edge of the map. Does lose one of those Oracles. That's a good catch there. Now, he doesn't know that this is actually charge, and that's very important that herO stops that. If he knows it's charged, it's a problem. Now, if he can show him a few more Stalkers, warp in a few Stalkers here, then herO can try to convince him this is a Stalker build. I don't know if Serral's going to buy it, though, because I feel like he would expect to have already seen a few Stalkers. He hasn't seen any Zealots, though, so Was this only 2 oracles this game? Very uncharacteristic. Maybe that's a tell in of itself. I feel like when he plays stalkers, herO plays at least 3 oracles. Pretty much every single time. We'll see how it goes. Templar Archives is on the way. Adepts canceling their shades. I like that the Adepts haven't really committed just yet. They're just kind of hanging out, looking around. Serral has an early 4th base on the way. Oh, great positioning. Grabs 1 ling, grabs 2 ling, 3 lings, and gets out unscathed. Beautiful. Archon warping in here at the 3rd base. Going up to 8 gateways. +1 charge, Archon Zealot, and taking gases immediately. So this is not a committed attack. hero's going to go for a Zealot Archon poke. But that's really scary. If you're massing lings, Serral thinks it's Stalker play. He's massing lings. He hasn't built roaches. So he's going to be shocked when he sees these Archons and Zealots. He's going to panic. Because he's down on workers massing the wrong unit. Oh man, Zealot Archon smashes Zerglings immediately. 8 roaches powering up. Yes, he's got +2 melee and it'll help with Banelings as this continues. But you've got to be very cautious because the Archon Zealot ruins you. If this was actually just an 8-gate Zealot Arch or 10-gate Zealot Archon with no gases on the 3rd, it might have even killed Serral. I hesitate to say for sure because he did have a good queen count, had the roach tech ready. But as it is, Oracle sees no drones on that 4th. That's going to make you feel pretty good as hero. You're like, oh, you don't have any drones on your 4th? All right, I'm going to take my 4th. Because the depths are down there. It looks like those Zerglings did pick off a probe that was going for it. Serral, can he get another one? Nah, he wasn't watching. Shield battery will defend that. And nice control. Oh, lings come in. Oh, hit cancel. Good moves here by Serral. Serral's going to queue 12 more workers up behind it, which are highly necessary. Because remember, he does not have the same economy as hero just yet. That's not a good... Oh, the Archon pickups. Ooh. 2-for-1 units lost in favor of hero. And he scared Serral into Mass Roach. Now, Serral is going to go Infestation Pit, but his Baneling speed is way behind. So Serral doesn't really have a timing attack here. The problem is Serral's very safe here, but he's playing very reactive. And this has always been Serral's weakness. Highly reactive. He's good at surviving. The problem is if you're playing ZvP and you let your opponent max out on what is now going to be Disruptor Archon, that hard counters Ravages, Lings, and Banes. So he's going to go Hive, but there's no Spire on the way, which means no Greater Spire. I think the Broodlords are still a good transition that is criminally underused by top Zerg players in this matchup. I don't think you should do it every game. Definitely not good when it's predictable, but not a bad surprise move. Double Disruptor Production's on the way, +2. 73 workers for hero, 80 now for Serral. Now, 80 drones sounds good, but it's all about when you get to those 80 drones, and he's just got them popping out now, which means it's already 8 minutes. You're not far ahead on supply. Yes, Zealots are very low-tier supply, but if they can avoid the Banes, Archons and Disruptors are going to cause you a lot of problems. Observer does see the Lings coming down the right side. 2 cannons, 2 batteries. Should be able to deflect that. Okay, he's going to go for some Banelings, blow up the cannon battery, see if he can get on top of the base. I think that's a good way to do it. Lings are going to come in. Oh, there's a Disruptor in the open. That'd be a nice catch. But there's an Archon that could probably save it. But oh my god, he's going to get it! +2 melee Zerglings. Oh, that's a juicy snipe. Don't tell me he gets another one. Oh, he dodges it. If he gets 2, is he going to get 2 Disruptors? Oh my god, Serral with 7 Zerglings kills 2 Disruptors and he still lives to tell the tale. What the hell? hero's going to have to clean this up, mate. Ooh, he's going for some probing balls right now. Gets a Roach and a Creep Tumor. Not too bad, but no big hits. Serral's slowing down that Disruptor growth and he's going Vipers, which is very good. Abducting the Disruptors will be great. The problem is, where's the Lurker tech or the Broodlord tech? You need something that'll scale into the later stage. Good running here by hero. Serral also trying to catch them on the way back in. Doesn't quite get it. Would have liked him to shift click those Banelings a bit more just to bait some Warpins. Banelings trade on some Zealots. Not the worst trade for either side. And it is just Roach, Baneling, Viper. As I said, Serral's composition's not getting much better. Vipers can abduct Disruptors, but if there's enough Archons and Zealots with a big enough spread, so the Banelings just won't be effective. And then what? You're fighting with Roaches, which, I mean, there's no Immortals, but 1 or 2 good Disruptor shots could ruin your day. Now, Banelings there are a problem. Oh, hero with an F2 A move. A moves back into the Banelings because he F2 A moved the bottom right side and didn't realize the Zealots were still too close to the enemy. Does end up defending the right side, but he lost a lot of units on that left. But nice flank here. Archon Disruptor is going to stop these Roaches from getting out of there. Serral loses all of those units, and that is costly. He's still making Ling Ravager. Not even any Ravagers, just Lings and Roaches and Banes. I can't get behind this army comp for Serral. I feel like he got shocked when herO first surprised him with the Zealot Archon comp, which he thought was going to be Stalkers. And since then, it feels like Serral's adrenaline's been pumping. He hasn't taken a moment to calm down and tech up. He needs to tech up. He's going to go for a fight and try to force it. There isn't that many units, but the Archons are good at, oh my god, that giant ball landed. Great spready against the other balls. Serral comes around the right side as well. He gets a surround. Serral, I can't believe it. He needed this fight so desperately to reset the army of Protoss, and he finds it. Bloody magician that he is. Serral finds the surround on that army right when he needed it. He does lose his 5th base and 5 drones. So that's the one thing going for herO. You know, herO's got a great economy. With enough cannon battery disruptor, he can defend. But I think Serral can deny this base on the left, and that's going to be pretty useful. There's a Colossus in here. Very good versus Zerglings. And you can see double Immortal production. So, okay, so herO is saying, look, you're going to abduct my combat units, but if I have Immortals, they don't die very quickly. You're abducting a big tank into your army. I'm okay with that, right? I'm just going to have a lot of Immortals, a lot of Archons. He's got a Mothership. I don't know why he's building a Mothership. I'm pretty sure herO is just doing herO things. Now, herO! herO! He hits himself with his own balls! Oh no! The Viper abducts a Colossus and Disruptor. He killed an Archon and like 7 Zealots with 2 Disruptor shots, potentially opening up a chance, but that battery overcharge Archon is good. Serral not quite able to capitalize on that. That is actually just a huge hold for herO, but it comes off the back of an opening that he gave to Serral, and that is, of course, not great. Mothership comes out. Serral's like, But yeah, that might scare him into thinking it's a full air swap. It's not. It's literally just a Mothership and a ground army. And the thing is, herO doesn't have a 5th base. So you might think, well, you're kind of starving him out, right? But no. This 5th is only now getting back up. Serral's definitely not starving him out because of that. You need a 5th and a 6th fully mining at this point to really feel like the Protoss is in a dire economic position. Now, you might wonder, why is that, Pig? The reason is gas. Zerg cannot use their gas as efficiently as Protoss because Protoss can make Archons, which are one of the best, most well-rounded units in the game. And the gas is still mining in the main. So even when all your minerals are running out, definitely the mineral income hurts for herO, but he only uses the minerals for Zealots. They're the least important unit in his entire army, mostly used for backstabs and harassment. But as you mine out of minerals, you can end up on like 4 base versus 4 base, 20 minutes in the game versus Protoss, and think, oh, we're both pretty much out of money. The Protoss is still warping in 6-7 Archons a minute, and you're like, oh, those counter all of my Lings, my Roaches, my Banes. If you don't have Lurkers or something that can really deal with them efficiently, it's not good for you in the long run. Disruptor stops some Banelings on the left side. Too much Zealot Archon Disruptor. It looks like the 5th base will be getting up. Great Aspire and 5 Corruptors are on the way. Serral's trying to get the answers, but the core of that army, I mean, if he had Lurkers up, I actually believe Lurker Viper could absolutely deal with this army. I think he could. It's hard because of the mobility of herO. You know, you'd need to get a lot of those units up. But I just feel like the Banelings, you need herO to slip up. You need to get in the center of the Zealots. There's now High Templar ready for feedback as well, which means, of course, the Vipers, which have been... Oh, they already got popped as well. The Oracle comes in and dies. Zealot Archon on the left side. Oh, watch out for the ball! And the ball gets a Ravager and a Bane. Not too bad. Banelings do clean up most of the Zealots, but I think there's still enough with the Archons potentially to take down these Spines. We'll see how it goes. The Ravager will fall. Those Spines are going to go down. He's going to move the rest of the army here. Disruptors can zone. Serral trying to morph Banes on the front line. He's already used a lot of Banes to clear up the first part of that army. No Broodlords have been morphed yet. The Great Aspire is not quite done. The Disruptor shots coming forward. Archons, Time Warp going down, not really being that effective. Mothership doing pretty much what I expected in this fight, which is standing there and kind of going 400, not minus. That's basically what the Mothership added to that fight. It threw down a Time Warp and then stood there saying, I am 800 resources of distraction. Well, I guess it got him to build 5 Corruptors, and in the end, herO got Serral way too defensive, too reactive, and then managed to get deeper into the game. That's herO's power, the ability to feint aggression and then take the game later, where the Zerg army hits the expiry date, the Protoss army doesn't. Beautiful play for herO. Alright, well, he got cornered in that last one, but let's see how he fights back. I think he'll be a bit more decisive, looking probably to punish in this next game. Top right side, we've got herO going for a greedy gas first opening. That's a very good way to play. Gas first, delays the gateway, but just skip the scout. You're playing Serral. He's never going to 12 pull you on this map. He just very rarely gambles on stuff like that. He will occasionally, but he'd probably do it on a smaller map. This map's pretty damn long. So I like this choice for herO. Now, what's weird is herO's rallied 3 onto gas and pulled 1 off minerals, which is completely unnecessarily when you're doing a non-scout build. There is literally no way you can spend this much gas, in my opinion. So I'm actually kind of confused at what he's doing. Unless he wants to go Stalker, Warp Gate, and hide a Stargate. I guess that's the one situation. If you want to fake a Twilight build and have a very quick Stargate Oracle hidden in the main as well. So maybe he does that. We'll keep our eyes open. Or he's a creative boy. And I like the way he showed the Zealot Archon and he very regularly pushed across the map and made Serral think there was going to be a big fight that happens. And this really, I feel, goes back to classic ZvP theory, which so many people that complain about the matchup forget about. And that is the fact that, like, part of playing effective PvZ is pressuring your opponent at peak level, forcing them to build bad units, and then pulling back, not letting them fight with those. If, you force mass Ravagerling Bane, and then just wait until you've got the counter to that, and then deal with it. I say just, obviously it's not that simple, but essentially that's what I feel like. Now, he's going to go Adept, Warp Gate, and Stargate. So it's okay, it's not a Stalker first, but it is still, hey, look, I'm making Warp Gate straight away. Serral should know, though, that if your opponent hasn't scouted, he could still be going Stargate. So I don't think Serral's going to get tricked like this the way Zergs used to, where they were like, oh, Cybercore's spinning. He must not have a Stargate. These days, it's like, no. Much harder to trick people than that. Depth's coming across the map, but he is chronoing probes behind this. Interestingly, saving a chrono. He's going to double chrono his oracles. Oh, okay, so he chronos the probes on the natural, but he's saving. So he's going to have chrono, oracle, chrono, second oracle. Looking for the quickest oracles possible across the map. Nice creep tumor for Serral, though. Skip the inject on the natural to get that down ASAP. And droning. Depth Shade, not going to risk going... Oh, I mean, you've got a good bit of room you can move around here, so you can be annoying. And you can shade out. He's unlikely to take too much damage. And look at that, gets a Zergling and forces a Spore Trick. Now, arguably, Serral could have just let that Spore finish, because this Oracle's actually super early. Thing is, this is such a fast Oracle. This is where you need to do that second chrono and queue up the next Oracle. Come on, second chrono. 2 Adepts are here. So he didn't actually lose any Adepts. He's going to keep him busy. Oh, and look at that. He's going to lure the Queens to the natural. This is perfect. If he can keep those Queens moving down here, this sets up for the Oracle to do massive damage. herO doing the nasty right now. He's doing the nasty, man. Oh, this is so painful for Serral. Oracle and Adept letting loose in that mineral line. Good quick run with the drones, but he needs to get out of there. 7 drones go down for 2 Adepts. A delicious, delectable start for herO. Now, if I was herO, I'd be worried about it an all-in coming my way. I'd be very worried about just like your opponent swinging across the map. His Adept's not in the wall. His Oracles are going home to defend the third, which is very smart. Just secure that lead. No need to risk anything. He turns his Oracle laser on. He gets 1 or 2 lings, not the worst thing. He tries to, he thought the lings were going to come back in, so he left his laser on a few seconds longer, trying to bait Serral into coming back in for more. But Serral didn't risk it, which works out well for him. 3rd and 4th gas are down, as well as the Twilight Council. And the fact that it's just Twilight, no Forge, for me, often speaks of a player who wants to play an 8-gate Stalker Oracle attack to try and kill a Zerg that's droning up a 4th base. We'll see. But yeah, extra gateway goes down already. Hopefully the Lings can't see that from across the wall. Oracle's going to dive in here. Oh, a little slow on the focus fire. And this could be getting a bit ambitious. You don't want to lose the Oracle. But good micro. Gets 2 Queens. Doesn't lose an Oracle. Oh, herO's just all over it, man. Now, seeing a Twilight, no Forge, Serral may have the same read that I just said, where you're like, oh, he's going to hit me with Blinkstalkers. Adept's coming in the south side here. Serral, dude, he's been reeling, but look at his work account. He's doing a really good job of recovering. herO maybe slipped up on that pro production a little bit here. Adepts get 2 workers, and oh, great micro behind the mineral patch. Can he get another drone or 2? And it looks like he will get 1. No, oh, missed targeting. herO misclicked like 3 times in a row and left all of these 4 drones on orange hit points. That's what I call Florencio-style target micro. Remember, guys, for those who don't know, herO has been attending science school, and the theory is if you damage units but let them regenerate, it's actually better because that gives you more hit points to kill in the future. and the more hit points you can kill, the more demoralized Serral's going to get. Now, if that sounds like utter nonsense that you shouldn't be doing against the reigning world champion, you might be right. But, you know, what can I say? Suiscience is its own school of thought. So, yeah, herO's, let's be honest, herO's not happy with it. For anyone who doesn't have a great sarcasm meter, we'll clarify that one immediately. Oracle's coming in, getting 1 or 2 more drones. He's still in a good spot. 58 workers versus 58, but you don't want to throw these oracles away. Oh, all 3 alive. They're deep red, though, so they can't really be used in future fights. Now, it is going to be that 8 gate that we were talking about, guys. He's got 8 gateways of stalkers. They're going to move forwards, and usually you'd attack the 4th, but it looks like he might go towards the 3rd base. Mass Zergling coming in for Serral. Serral is on a terrible income. He needs to do nothing but hold down the Zergling key. He stopped at just 4 gases. He's building 4 more drones. herO is taking a 4th base and going charge without a forge? herO's transition makes no sense. If herO leans on him with mass Blinkstalker production, I do think he can win this game. But he's got to rotate these oracles around and use them to clear up these creep tombs. He doesn't have a robo or a forge, which means zealots are naturally not as good because he doesn't have a warp prism, and that means he can't get in the back. He doesn't have +1, which means he can't trade well versus those other units. The oracles, 3 of them go in, he kills another 2 queens, forcing Serral to dump a lot of money into those units. herO's build is absolutely bizarre. Now, what's great about herO's build is it's unreadable. Serral's going to be looking at this and scratching his head. And you know why? Because it doesn't really make sense. He's kind of going in 2 or 3 directions at once. He's building a double forge at the 4th? Where does herO come up with this stuff? This is absolute nonsense, playing at the highest level in the game, and he's just doing stuff at a completely random, willy-nilly. The Lings are going to come in for this round. He's got to be careful. The Oracles can help, but the Queens will get rid of those Oracles very quickly. Get out of there with the Oracles. You don't want to lose those. The Stalkers are getting ran over. It's reinforced from the right side is a little slow. I think he still might have it, though. No, he's got to be the Blink Micro. The Queen's coming in. herO's microing very well. He had such a good start to this game. I think he might just have too much. Serral has to tap out. I gotta argue that herO didn't make that easy for himself, guys. Choosing to go charge, then 4th, then double forge was super random. But a 2-0 lead is a 2-0 lead. You can't argue with the beauty of his opening. Was perfect. Really well done. All right, well, he's down 0-2. His back's up against the wall. But you know what, guys? You know what they say? Never corner a billy goat. It's Serral in the top right side, formerly NC Sports, now Basilisk Gaming, and he sent a drone across the map very early. And he's going to try and hatchery block. Wait. Oh, he's cheesing! He's going to build a hatchery over here, mine these minerals open. I think it's actually way better if you just take the gas there and swap it, right? Isn't it? I mean, it's definitely cheaper. How does this... I mean, I like that Serral's down 0-2 and he's cheesing. So herO comes in, he sees nothing here, and being here... Okay, so this is where herO comes into a huge fundamental problem as a StarCraft player. herO is the most cheesable Protoss in the entire world. He comes in, he's like, yeah, you don't have a hatchery. Doesn't think at all. He's literally not looking around. He's like, yeah, that's fine. You probably just, I don't know, maybe you took this one or something. He's not checking. herO is the laziest scouting Protoss player in the entire world. Parting used to be the same. These like high variance aggressive Protosses literally play with 0 fear. It's like playing against someone, it's ignorance is bliss. They just literally pay 0 respect to Zerg aggression to the point where he just doesn't scout. He's like, no, it's fine. There's a spawning pool here. Yeah, but he clearly went hatchery first. You know this from the gas pool timing. Scout, herO. Please, scout. We're on herO's camera now, guys. Like, watch just how little he pays attention to what's going on in this game. Are you going to at least check the gold? He's now looking for 3rd bases. Okay, he's going to go check his minerals. He knows about it. He knows about this build. He knows that he's getting mined out. Okay, he should be fine then, right? I mean, his wall off should be good, but he does need... I think he should full wall the front for sure. Okay, yeah, so this is easy, guys. What you do is he cancels the Nexus even. Stargate and Forge. Wow, okay, interesting. I mean, link speed's wild away. Yeah, he's going to full wall the base. That probe could try to just mineral walk through to get home, potentially. He's going to build batteries, cannons, and make adepts. Yep, I don't think Stargate makes any sense here. So here's the thing, guys. Your opponent's on a 1 base all-in, essentially. If you go Robo or just extra gateways, you can fight him head-on. The problem with going Stargate is you're basically relying on overwhelming the Queens. And Queens massively outscale, especially if he builds Spore Crawlers with this. And he's got a hatchery here. He's got creep here. they massively outscale oracles or void rays as you bank transfuse energy. So the problem is it puts the pressure on you to get the good fights, not them. On the other hand, you could argue that with battery overcharge, queens will never beat void rays, right? I still think gateway ground units in general is a much easier answer to this. Serral gambling on a very silly build. herO's got cannon battery, which queens can't do anything against. His natural's a bit vulnerable. I like that he's created a choke point there to plug an adept in. Get the adept in the choke point. As long as he keeps the adept in that choke point, he's good. The problem is herO only knows how to F2, guys. Uh-oh. Battery, heal the pylon. Heal the pylon. Heal the pylon. Okay, he does start healing the pylon. The adepts are doing a good job. But this is the problem, is that his natural is vulnerable right now. Those adepts are going to go down. And he's building oracles. But if he loses the gateways, oh, he's in doo-doo. Uh-oh, this is doo-doo town for herO right now. Serral gets the pylon, stops the adepts. He's going to need to send probes down. There's no way. The lings can just run back in. Oracles run out of energy. Oracles are never a good unit in this situation because they run out of energy and then they're not useful. Whereas a Void Ray could have defended this natural, killed Overlords, but he just does the pro gamer thing, goes for Oracles, which is a terrible choice. And honestly, he can't get this back up. He's got no energy. I can't believe this is going to work for Serral, man. This was such a crazy gamble to go for, but in the spirit of Christmas, the Night King has come in and given us a special tactics cheese of Queen Ling. He's making a Bailey nest behind it. That'll crash through the cannons. Yeah, that's going to be a big problem, mate. That's going to be a big problem. The Queen... Oh, here we go. No battery overcharge. Oh, no, he doesn't have energy because he's chronoed his Oracle. Big mistake for herO. He chronos the Oracle. Oh, the classic mistake. The probes are getting overrun as there's no battery healing left, and that was a big problem for herO. Oof. This is why they say, guys, never go for the Chad, or never go for the Virgin Oracle. You can go for the Chad Ray. You can go for a muscular, fucking strong, confident guy with a thick beam, or you can go for this stupid little intermittent beam. I mean, just think about it, guys. Do you trust something that pees in little piddles or gets it out in one big thick boy stream? Thick boy stream's always the answer. And in that case, if you're going to go Stargate, I do think Void Rays are correct. But I would argue just get 3 gateways or 2 gates in a robo. Just get ground units is totally fine as well. There's also an argument that he could have tried to build pylons over here and wall that off. But I don't think that's really necessary. I think if you can just defend this natural with more production, you should be good. GG, well played though. Serral gambling when he's on match point. That's the sort of plays you need to bring out here to stay unpredictable. I like the modern Serral. I do like that he mixes this in. GG's. All right. He's got a point on the board. Now he's going to Tropical Sacrifice, a map where I think he can go back to standard play. Serral in the bottom left side. He's going to get pylon blocked by herO. He's gone for that. I think this was this a 13 pylon? No, I think this was just a 14 pylon. He's cutting it a bit close. He gets in there just at the moment when the hatchery would be going down. But it's actually a 15 pool, right? Is that 15? Maybe 16. It's like 16, 15 or 16 pool. I think it's a 16 pool for Serral. So I think he'll do at least 4 or 6 lings across the map. herO will scout in here, but this allows Serral to go back and get that natural. And that's why in this scenario as herO, it's actually super worth building a pylon as you go in, because you can get into the main and then run back and cancel the pylon before it finishes. And the thing is, you always have over 100 minerals at this point in the game. Now, this is something herO never does. He always gets tricked by this, and that is actually an unfortunate inefficiency. We're also going to see him prioritize trying to deny some mineral mining here. Let's see how Serral handles it. Let's see who's winning a little mental game with the little details. Notice how he rotates between the 2 mineral patches to try and mess up Serral's mining. Serral hasn't taken the gas yet, which is a bit weird. I think it's a good opening for Serral. Just a macro pull first, nothing too crazy. On the other hand, because he did make a mistake, actually. Because he so blatantly built drones and only built 2 lings, herO has disrespected his build entirely. If he built 4 lings, came across the map, he could kill this pylon, or at least do a bunch of damage on the probes. But herO says, well, you're Serral. I know you're one of the most conservative players in the game. You just did an all-in last game. You're not going to do it again. And he's gone Nexus before Cybercore. So no Zealot, and he's delayed the Cybercore. Whereas normally if you're against a pool first, you go Cybercore, then Nexus, and Chrono and Adept straight away. herO is like, yeah, you're a conservative player. I can get away with it. And he did. The Lings chased the probe for a bit. Then they come across the map, and there's only 2 of them. And this is herO cutting corners like a madman against a player who doesn't want to, when he's scouted, commit to those Lings. That's something like you'll see Reyna sometimes, right? He gets scouted, he's gone pull first, still builds 4 or 6 lings, and you're like, well, that seems like it can get counted. It's not that efficient. But the thing is, it does force a response. So there is something to be said for still committing to some of those pressures in those scenarios. Now, he spots the Twilight Council opening here from herO, something I haven't seen herO do much at all recently. I wonder how good herO is at these Twilight builds. I know MaxMax was for like months playing nothing but Twilight Council again in this matchup. Second gateway at the front, the probe will escape. Good scouting so far. Resonating Glaives does start up, and that's what you'd expect. Serral? What? Serral's going 2-base lair. Roach Warren is going to go down in a moment. Oh my god, he's doing the 2-base Roach build. Guys, this is the worst build of all time, but he's scouted Twilight, and I think this is one of the more reasonable times to do it. Oh man. I think he's going to go for a kill timing. So he's going to have a very delayed third. I've talked to Serral 5 years ago. I was having conversations with Serral about how I think this build's trash against Protoss. But I think in this scenario where you know it's not a Stargate, it's okay. Because there's no info for herO. herO doesn't know that he's up against this. And you're going to go for quick 2-gas Roaches, Roach speed. You'll get a 3rd gas soon as well. And by the time Adepts hit, with Glaives, you've got Roaches. Then you have Roach speed. And you counterattack and you kill his 3rd and game over. Like, it's just, you can hit such a sharp counter timing with this quick lair. And you could even make an Overseer to deal with DTs or to scout your opponent. Roach speed starting at 4 minutes, guys. Serral's essentially doing my Bronze to GM Zerg 2-base Roach push. He's just doing it off 2 gases rather than 3 or 4. This is literally, and he's gonna Evo block the first Adepts as well. Very cute, very cute. I like it. And this is a very quick pressure from herO. And he's going Robo Forge 3rd gas behind it. So it's like an in-between pressure. And seeing that the 3rd's so late, I think you just build an Observer, you chrono it across the map. You definitely stop making Adepts here. Making more Adepts is a really bad call. So you should make probably 1 Sentry, an Immortal after that. Definitely should go Observer first, not Warp Prism. He's going to go Blink and +1 on 2-base. Is that good? I mean, it's not bad. It's flexible. And you know he's 2-base. So I guess it makes sense. I love that. I love that herO is my favorite pro gamer that regularly makes me go, when I'm trying to analyze and understand his builds. And you know what? I think as long as he can get a 3rd up and defend it, he's up 4 workers this whole time. He's doing pretty good. Oh, that's a crazy commitment. That's a crazy commitment. He gets in, takes out the Evo chamber. This might be a big throwaway of Adepts, though. You don't want to lose too many of these Adepts. He's going to move in. Gets 3-4 drones. Nice drone pull out of the main, though. Oh, that was a slick move, that was. 7 drones do go down. Oh, he loses 4 Adepts, saves the other 4. herO calculated. Oh my god, that is so bloody sexy. That's actually well worth it. That is such a slick move. That's so annoying. Oh, it's these little moves. Oh, the queens. No, herO, bad move. Okay, get out, bro. That one was a bit too ballsy. At Adept for 3 more drones, it works out, but boy, was that dangerous. The moment those queens started shooting that prism, herO right now, absolutely unable to restrain his aggression. He gets a few more drones. You could tell he just wants to keep putting it in. And Serral does lose a lot of workers. So Serral's lost 12 drones. herO has a 3rd. If he can defend that, Blink Stalkers and Immortals should do well. But you can see now that Serral has built a worker advantage. So I'd like to see herO push across the map. Like herO, you've been killing drones. You see a lot of drones. Pushing across the map would totally panic Serral and make him hold down the worker key. So this is where I think there is a strategic misplay. herO's sitting at home making batteries. And that's exactly the wrong call. Serral has a much weaker army. Even army supply, much lower quality units. You've got +1 Immortals, Prism, Stalkers against just Roaches. Roaches and Queens are trash, but Serral's taking advantage. He's droning. He's gone 6 gas and Aspire. And if you let him surprise you with 6 or 7 mutas bouncing around your bases and all this stuff, you can end up in a lot of trouble. So I feel like herO struggling to read this build from Serral because it is such a weird build. This delayed 3rd, this kind of 2-base Roach opening. It's always very hard to read what their next step is. And that's really what this build gives you as Serral. You don't have a giant economy advantage, but you got a big tech advantage potentially. You've got the chance to get into that tech quick, early, surprise your opponent, do really well. Now he's going mass Immortals and Sentries. These are not the units you want when your opponent's swapping into Mutaling. It's a great anti-Roach army, but it feels like herO's being tricked a little bit. He still sees slow Zerglings, convincing him more and more Oh, my opponent's going to play Roach Hydra. Otherwise, you'd have Link Speed, right? Oh, this is very unfortunate for herO. And the fact that he took so long to build the Observer, and he hasn't seen that Spire. herO's still got good numbers on the field. He's got +2 on the way. He's going to 8 gateways. But there's a Ling in his base seeing everything right now. That's just classic herO leaving his door completely unmanned. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, as much as I tout herO for his handling of chaotic situations, if this man could have a bloody unit in his door at any point in the game, he would be so much harder to scout for his opponents. Queen Overseer just killed his Observer, which means the mutas are coming out. He's pushing across the map, but I don't know if he realizes about these Adepts. Okay, I don't know if he saw those Mutalisks coming across the map. A Warp-In could deal with the Stalkers. A Corruptor is building. That's got to be a misclick there for Serral, surely. 4th base gets sniped. I mean, does herO recall? Does he warp in Stalkers? The mutas are about to show themselves. It's only a small squad of mutas. It's not a big commitment. As long as he pulls these probes to the right, yep, those mutas have to get out of there. The Stalkers gonna try and blink on this, but actually, no, he's not really blinking just yet. And those mutas are still enough to one-shot. Saves the blink to move down the cliff, which is a very good call. And he will take out a few of these. Oh, what's happening? herO! herO! What are you doing, buddy? herO! A moved his army and left 5 Immortals to die. Oh, no! Oh, no! herO was winning. And then he misclicks these Stalkers in the wrong direction as well. Oh, no! herO absolutely caught. Oh, by surprise. These mutas must have shocked him. It is so uncharacteristic for another Immortal. He's lost 5 Immortals. Oh no, herO just totally dropping the ball. And now the Roach Ravagers are a really scary army. Dude, the Sentries died, the Immortals died, all the Adepts are gone. He's got 1 billion Stalkers chasing just 6 mutas. Even though there's only 4 left, they've already done their job, man. Oh my god, Lings are going to surround the battery before the fight even starts. Serral's just going to jam it in. I actually think herO was in a good position. He just needed to click his army away. Serral was stuck on 3 bases. herO had navigated through this game so well, but the mutas were such a shock to the system. You could tell that he got caught a bit flat-footed there. And now this is doing way more damage than it ever should have. Serral doing a funky build, surprising his opponent, and actually managing to get a good trade here, killing 23 probes. The Stalkers clean him up, but I think that's well worth it. Serral's mutas in the main are still picking off probes. As long as Serral can remake enough units to stop the counterattack, you know herO's not going to build a probe from here. He's just going to go all in. But look at this. The mutas are going to get on the 3rd. You just need enough Roaches, Ravagers, Lings to surround this, and you're already up 15, 18 army supply. The mutas chase those probes off that 3rd base. herO's just going to be warping in Stalkers, Zealots, anything he can, trying to get in. Time for a drone pull for Serral. Serral's gonna need to pull drones, I think, to hold on against this. Baneling's getting in on top of some of those Zealots and Stalkers. Queen's coming on forward, going for the Prism. He tries to go for the Prism and actually presents his army to its death. herO's micro is good. Serral's micro is not so good. Oh, this is kind of scary. But, oh, if he can get rid of the Prism, that means no reinforce. Blinking on the left side, but the Prism dies on the far right side. Those Stalkers are losing the fight to the mutas. Drones get pulled in, which is so good at tanking. Stalkers overkill massively against those units, and now having to warp in Stalkers from home. Remember, he's still down 24 workers. 4 base versus 3 base, and it looks like Serral pulls a rabbit out of a hat in this game. Does very, very well to get back in this game, in this series, and we've got to watch that stumbling maneuver very quickly here. What the heck happened with herO? Because herO, I feel like he was a little slow to get his Stalkers on top of the mutas, which was not great. I think this just shows that he's a bit awkward, but the thing is, he's got better upgrades. He's got a very well-rounded army in terms of Blink, Stalker, Sentry, Immortal. Add some splash damage in a 4th base, and like Serral is only on 3 base. He's just started the Baneling Nest. He's really not in a great spot. His 3rd is not even full of minerals. So he's banking on these mutas doing the good distraction, and they do pretty well. Luckily, he hadn't just warped in, so he's able to warp in. He's probably only going to lose 5 or 10 probes, which he can reproduce. And then we see herO here. And what we see really is herO's control group syndrome. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm going to break this one down for you. What just happened, guys? Because he doesn't use control groups properly. So what's happening, if you look at herO's control groups, he has no control groups for his army, just one for his Prism at this point. And usually he's fine with it. Usually he's good at managing it, but this is one of the rare cases. So what he's done here, and I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Let's go to herO's camera. check out his control. You can see down in the bottom right what he's clicking on. So he warps in more stalkers. He's microing. Now he's going to glance back at the front, selects the prism. So he double taps number 1 for the prism, and then he boxes the units and clicks them to the right. But notice, he only boxed the units at the front, not the sentries and the immortals. And then he immediately looks back home to deal with the mutas. So in herO's mind, I think in his mind, he thought he grabbed his whole army here and clicked it back. But the fact that his army was spread across 2 screens meant he didn't. So you watch this over the next few seconds. He's just kind of microing his stalkers, trying to blink them down here. And then he goes back to the front, double taps the prism, boxes the stalkers, and clicks them there. He's forgotten that half of the army this is not the whole army. Remember, you had 4 immortals and 2 sentries as well. And he still has not control grouped that army because he wants to micro the prism separately. So he looks back at home. And it's funny because, like, I could say this is a problem with his technique, but I very rarely see him make this mistake, right? He doesn't even realize the immortal. He just looked to the right. I think it might have just dawned on him. He's like, because he kind of panned to the right and went, is this my whole army? Like, because he didn't even see those immortals once as they were dying. You can tell he was just a little bit surprised and shocked by those mutas. That clearly threw him off his game. What a disaster. Well, a little bit of a donation there, but you know what? He did work for it. He put the pressure on, did a weird opening, defended well with the roaches, snuck those mutas across. Guarantee you, against a lesser opponent, there's no way herO would have made such a crucial mistake in that last game. Nonetheless, herO's got to be a little annoyed because I think dying to that all-in that he spotted so far ahead of time, I really do feel a Void Ray would have shut it down. I don't think 1 base Zerg income is that hard to stop. Of Lings, if you've got 2 gates making Adepts, 1 Stargate making Void Rays. But herO's going to go gas first here. Again. Okay, he's doing the same build as Data C, and this is an even smaller map, which means that Adept chronoed across the map, as well as the Stargate Oracle behind it, could be even more impactful. On the other hand, Serral's unlikely to make the same mistake twice. Now, Serral has gone for a 16 hatch. He's doing a real standard opening, and he realizes, okay, you're letting me get away with it, but I've got to be on my guard, because last time I took way too much damage to the 2 Adepts and the Oracle. If he can stop that happening, I think he'll be in a pretty decent position. It's weird because, like, I never think of herO as a guy who's going to ever get reversaled. But if there's one man that can do it, it's Serral, especially because a small map should favor Protoss in terms of the ability to punish the Zerg with timing attacks. On the other hand, it also favors the Zerg walking queens across, doing their own aggression. So you got to realize that whenever you're watching a map like this, I think it's more about the players, and I actually feel like Serral is so good at playing on small, compact maps. I think the way he's just so good at scouting and defending and blocking moves and then methodically counter-thrusting when it comes his time. I know especially in ZvT, he has an exceptional win rate on small maps. And that is why I don't think he has the same weakness here that a lot of other Zergs might. On the other hand, let's see what herO can do with it, as he's got already 3 workers on each gas, 16 on minerals, rallies to the natural on that Nexus. And we're going to see, of course, Stalker first this time around. Interesting. And he's going to build his tech on the natural. He's going to hide the tech over in the wall. What? Okay, Twilight Council there. All right, if I was Serral, I would have already doubled back, though. Or you can just run the Lings in and see it either way. There's no way to actually hide it here. I mean, it's still a reasonably timed Twilight Council for sure. He's going to hide the Stalker. That's interesting. But that means the Lings will see it and the Overlord will get away without any damage on it. I think this is good for Serral. I think just sending that Overlord through the main once in a while is one of the best moves you can do as a StarCraft player. Stalker's taking out 1 Zergling, but the Zergling knows it's a Twilight, but he's going to do 2 base Roach again. Serral deciding that, look, there's too many crazy things that can happen. If I do a standard 3 base, it could be really fast Adepts, it could be DTs, it could be a Blink all-in, there could be just too many things. That Zergling apparently choosing to hide in the trees. It doesn't work, guys. Attack move doesn't matter if you as a player can see it or not. They cannot. The units can, and we'll find those units and hunt them down. Second gas, a Roach Warren moving out for that delayed 3rd base. Adept barely misses that one moving out to that left side. But he sees the Roach Warren already, and that's a super fast Roach Warren, but he sees plenty of drones on the natural. So he knows he's not getting hit by like a big all-in just yet. And I do wonder, as herO, what if you just cancel the glaives and go stalkers and take a third here? I wonder if that's like a viable play. He's going to go double gas, so he's definitely like transitioning upwards. I wouldn't be surprised to see like a forge. I think the one change I'd really like to see is an observer early. I think getting an observer early is so useful. Now, of course, guys, for those who don't know, Zerg have magic healing powers. Popping out of the cocoon, they pop out on full life. Stalker does do pretty good damage, and with the second Stalker as well and a bit of micro, he could have got the kill, but I think he was a bit too slow to micro the first Stalker. Barely. Yep, he was. herO there. Oh, he's going to try and warp in another Stalker. Oh. So now he's warped in 3 Stalkers. Okay. So Serral thinks he's being Blink Orb, or at least playing against Blink into third base. But in fact, those 3 Stalkers were all fakes. Now that seems like a really smart idea until you realize they're pretty useless right now. herO needs to take a third, and he's going to try and do it and go Robo-Bay tech at the same time. But he's got Resonating Glaives and 4 Adept, so he can just do some very light Adept pressure. I mean, on the plus side, he's up 7 workers. Serral's like massing roaches right now. Is Serral just going to attack with roaches and kill him is the question. There's no battery, there's no immortals. I feel like Serral needs to respect the Prism and the Adepts, though. He can't really just run across the map, can he? I mean, maybe. Send 15 roaches across, defend with the next 4 or 5 that pop out, and the queens. And sneaking him across. Okay, so yeah, this is the problem for herO right now is number 1, he's rallied his robo across the map. But number 2, these roaches are just going to surprise him. They avoid him. herO thinks he's got vision. Guys, attacking Protoss is not about hitting them with a timing that's unbeatable. It's about surprising them. It's all about surprise. Dark's been teaching us this for years. Serral seems to have learned that lesson. Where's the sentry warping? No sentry warping. Okay, you got to rally the Disruptor and not get it focused down. Oh, you're kidding me! The Disruptor at 36 out of 36. herO! Oh no! Okay, he repowers it with the Warp Prism. Still kills 3 roaches with that Disruptor. The Stalker Adept will deal with this, but he's already lost 14 probes. Oh no! Man, I can't believe it. Serral finding success with the old 2-base Roach build, doing this reactively against Twilight builds. Roaches rallying into the 3rd. It's an old school build. He used it when he won GSL versus the World versus Stats in 2018. He's doing it again back here in 2023. He says, screw defending on 3-base. It's too hard to figure out what they're doing. I'm just going to get a really quick roach speed and try to punish you with a big roach aggression. I'm going to make it so you're the one who needs to have the fragile defense. Whereas normally that doesn't happen until a bit later in the game. I'm going to speed up the point where you have to be on the defensive. And this is fantastic. This was played in 2022. Tryhard Virgins in the chat already shouting out. They go, this was Christmas 2022, Pig, not 2023. All right, guys. Well done. Good on you. You were technically correct. But yeah, Serral's basically got this one in the bag now. This is all about a dream, guys. And that dream is of 2 big balls getting unzipped, unloaded. And let's see if herO can turn around. Drop trowel, turn around, drop those balls upside down. It's his one chance. The Adepts are a bait. Good spreadies from Serral. Loses 5 or 6 roaches, but oh, one of the Disruptors goes down. Those Disruptors needed to be absolutely just game winners, man. They needed to be absolute game winners. He's got Blink Stalkers and Disruptor coming across the map. He's going to try and get some value trades, is herO. A few more Adepts coming in to deal with any Zerglings that jump on top. But this is 74 supply versus 135 down, 40 army supply, less than half. Oh man, look at that. And you can see Serral's ready to pounce. If you drop too close, he'll focus you down. There are 2 Disruptors. There's one rallying in from behind. Eats a bile, gotta be careful. Whoa! Serral jumps forward for the punish and he gets both! He gets both before they connect. Oh, let's watch that last little fight one more time. I mean, he was already dead, but that, I thought he'd land at least one of those Disruptor shots. He was still going to lose, even with one good Disruptor shot there, but Serral was like, he started spreading, and he was like, wait, I can just click this. So he clicks the first one, starts spreading, and he's like, actually, I can just click it. Oh, damn. GG, well played. Serral getting in there with the sneaky roaches. Now, I've got to ask the question, guys. Was a sentry warp incapable for herO when those roaches came across the map? It was pretty crisp timing, by the way. And for anyone who doubts Bronze to GM, by the way, This is essentially just an even quicker version of the roach timing, right? The roach attack, the 2-base roach attack with the empty 3rd base. Serral's playing bronze to GM strategies versus herO, versus the best Protoss in the world. He's a bit sneakier with it, but still, yeah, I think there was plenty of time to warp in Sentry here. If he warped in a Sentry there, he could have cut off most of the roaches from getting in. I think that would have been really big. GG. Very well played by Serral here. Gets herO off balance with the 2-base build. Definitely something that herO will have to have studied up on before he goes into Katowice. GG, well played.